always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Greetings, people of Earth and the known universe. You're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. This is your Captain Keith. And on deck, today's podcast title is Drake's Baby Daddy Issues, Kanye to the Mental, or Kanye the Mental, and Kendra is sorry. So we'll get into all that in this podcast. Most definitely. Where did we start? It's been a busy week for entertainment. Already an interesting, busy month. Yes, indeed. But we'll start off slow. So we will start off slow. David Oyelowo, or Oyelo, how do I say his name? David Oyelowo and Angela Jolie are in talks to play husband and wife in a new film called Come Away. So they are in negotiations to play a married couple Come Away. It's described as a live-action fantasy prequel to Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland. Jolie and Oyelo, oh man, it's like not even a long name either. Oyelowo will play the parents of the brother and sister who became the protagonists of Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan. When their older brother dies in a tragic accident, they seek to save their parents from despairing over their losses and are then forced to choose between home and imagination. Brenda Chapman will be the director and co-writer. She's the co-writer of Pixar's Brave, and she's humming from a script by Marissa Kate Goodhill. So Angelina and David are going to bring a beautiful chemistry and depth to this magical story, giving audiences a wonderful step outside the expected, Chapman says. Producers plan to shoot Come Away initially in the UK and then in Los Angeles in the fall. So Jolie is currently shooting Maleficent Part 2 for Disney, while Oyelowo will be seen next in the horror film Only You and the sci-fi drama Chaos Walking. Right on. So that sounds like an interesting project, and I definitely want to see Maleficent Part 2 because I did enjoy the first one. I did. I'm not going to lie. I saw it. Yes, I did. You know, I can watch Disney. I'm grown. I can do it. So, and in more news, it looks like Evelyn Lozada sues ex-publicist for allegedly spreading lies to Basketball Wives co-stars. Yes, and so it begins. Basketball Wives star Evelyn Lozada has accused her former publicist of defamation for allegedly spreading lies about her to co-stars in an attempt to have them featured on the reality series. Okay. So there that is. Lozada filed suit on May 31st against her ex-publicist, Danica Berry, over comments she allegedly made about Lozada and her ex-husband, Chad Johnson, who I believe is Ocho Cinco. Yeah. All right. Although they no longer work together after falling out in December 2016, Lozada says Berry defamed her to several people in the entertainment industry, including an incident where Berry allegedly told a reporter that while Lozada was married to Johnson, she was... and I can't see that. One second. She was, secretly having sex with a prominent New Orleans music mogul. Lozada says the statement was published on the website in February 2018. Ouch. So, according to The Blast, actually, Lozada sent off a cease and desist to her former publicist following the allegations being published. But despite the legal warning, Lozada claims Berry went on to tell fellow Basketball Wives star Tammy Roman that Lozada was the actual aggressor in the domestic dispute with Johnson that then led to their divorce. She claims her ex-publicist made the comments to Roman with the intent to have her bring up the false information during filming of Basketball Wives in an attempt to harm her personally and professionally. Lozada is suing for unspecified damages. A rep for Danica tells The Blast she has no knowledge of the lawsuit or the allegations within it. She is not a viewer of the show and is not aware of any storylines. Yeah, okay. So she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even watch the show. What do you mean? Okay. In more news, Bobby Brown's sister regrets taking Whitney Houston's drug-infested bathroom photo. Whitney Houston's drug habit cost her teeth, according to Tina Brown, who claimed Houston wore false teeth. Bobby Brown's sister, yes. Yeah, this story just gets kind of sad. Bobby Brown's sister speaking out about Kanye West using the photo of Whitney Houston's hot mess of a bathroom on Pusha T's new album, which is called Daytona. Tina Brown wants you to know that Kanye did not pay her for use of the photo, which she shamefully regrets taking at a low and self-destructive time in her life. Okay. Okay. So there that is. Well, she adds, together, she and I decided to take the pictures in the bathroom and share with the world the pain we were going through. It was a united cry for help. She insists the photo was not at all a portrayal of one another. Brown is speaking out now because she feels the public believes she profited again off the exploitation of Whitney with the photo on Pusha T's Daytona album, which was reportedly licensed by Kanye for $85,000. Okay. Whitney Houston's drug habit cost her teeth, according to Tina, who claimed Houston wore false teeth. Okay, but I don't know if Miss Houston wanted anyone to know that. She is a pop singing icon and a sex symbol to others, so I'm just trying to figure out why that information was even stated. She loses them in the house, and when she's out on drug binges, Tina revealed in 2006, according to Chatter Busy, they cost $6,000, and the dentist has to keep FedExing her a new set. After Whitney's death, the coroner's report indicated that she wore dentures. Okay. Brown is adamant that the public attention and speculation brought on by Kanye's broadcasted purchase of that picture and usage have opened up old wounds. She also wants to hear from Kanye about why he feels the picture is significant to him at this time. Good question. Good question. Yeah. And in more news, Drizzy Drake, also known as Drake, reportedly hit with many claims of paternity. So before we go into the story, folks, this is a response article in regards to the ongoing rap beef between Pusha T and Drake. So on Pusha T's new album called Daytona, there's a song called Infrared, and on that song, he basically takes shots at Lil Wayne, and Drake states that Lil Wayne is a multimillionaire who's forced to still work, a multi-platinum rapper who's forced to still work to make ends meet. He also states that he implies that Drake has a ghostwriter whose name is Quentin, who writes the songs for Drake. So then Drake responded with the rap diss track called Duppy Freestyle, where he basically says that Pusha T is not a real drug dealer, and that his brother's not even with him. He states in the song, "You have no malice in your heart." Malice is Pusha T's brother's rap name from when they were in the group together called The Clips. So then Pusha T made a diss track back at Drake called The Story of Adidon, where he found a picture of Drake wearing blackface when he was a younger man. Drake did explain that image later on in regards to how it was a protest to the injustices that were done to African-American actors trying to get work in Hollywood. But within that diss track that Pusha T put out, the response to Drake, he allegedly outed Drake for having a love child with the porn star, Sophie Brousseau. And he also took shots at Drake's parents within the song. So this has been going on for the past week or so. So this article I'm about to read you is a response to the story of Adidon, where Pusha T said, hey, you have a son. You need to don't be a deadbeat dad and love the porn star mother. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So this article I'm reading is basically in response to that. As it states before, allegedly Drake has been hit with many claims of paternity. And he is a rap superstar. So, these things can happen. You can be any type of superstar, and these things can happen, whether you're an athlete, rapper, actor. So I digress. Okay. So Sophie Brussaux is not the only woman that believes Drake could have fathered her child. When Pusha T responded to Drake's Duppy freestyle and made claims that the Canadian was a deadbeat dad that didn't support his secret child, the internet went wild. As we wait for Drizzy's response on record, and yes, folks, that's his nickname, like Kanye's nickname is Yeezy, and Lil Wayne's nickname is Wheezy, and then Drake is Drizzy. I can't even make this up. I don't. So, he has already addressed the controversial photos showing him in blackface. The allegations may seem to be unfounded, but Drake may have reason to believe that the baby is actually his. With reports claiming that he has been financially supporting Sophie Brussaux since her pregnancy, Drake is apparently willing to take a DNA test to prove the legalities surrounding baby Adonis. This is a step he has not taken in the past, as according to a TMZ, associate. Sophie is not the first woman to claim she has had Drake's baby. The media outlet states that the sixth god, I still have to figure out what that term comes from. I have to do some research on that, as his nickname, has been hit with numerous claims of paternity, which, if we're being completely honest, is not all that surprising given his celebrity status, of course. However, what makes this new information relevant is the fact that Drake is planning to take a DNA test to determine his relation to Sophie's child, a step he has already taken in the past. A step he has rarely taken in the past. Drake has reportedly always stood his ground against women that he has had sex with, saying that if there's proof he has fathered their child, he will support them. And that is the stand-up thing to say and do, of course. However, with claims coming even from women that he has never been intimate with, it's slightly difficult to keep track of these things. And that's the downside of celebrity status, definitely. While Drake's team initially was unsure of Brussaux's claims, claiming she has a very questionable background, Drake reportedly believes there's a chance she could be telling the truth. The child has blue eyes and blonde hair, which was off-putting to certain members of his entourage. But when the singer's schedule clears up, a DNA test will be performed. Okay, and when we get more news about Drake's baby daddy issues, we'll let you know. Definitely. Roseanne Barr, quote, I begged ABC not to cancel my show. Roseanne Barr begged for her ABC bosses not to cancel her, even offering to go on an extended apology tour for her insensitive tweets. But Disney/ABC Television Group President Ben Sherwood rejected her pleas and condemned the former actress for her racist and anti-Semitic post. I begged Ben Sherwood at ABC to let me apologize and make amends. I begged them not to cancel the show, Barr tweeted on Thursday night. I told them I was willing to do anything and ask for help in making things right. I'd work doing publicity for them for free for weeks. Traveling through bronchitis, I begged for people's jobs. Okay. So she also claimed in a since deleted tweet that she offered to go to a hospital and check my meds in an effort to save her television show. I also told Ben Sherman that I would go in the hospital to check my meds because the stress had made them less effective, Barr wrote. She later followed up with, he said, what were you thinking when you did this? I said, I thought she was white. She looks like my family. He scoffed and said, what have you done? What you have done is egregious and unforgivable. I beg for my crew's jobs. Will I ever recover from this pain? OMG. According to reports, ABC's abrupt cancellation of Roseanne cost about 200 actors, writers, and crew members their jobs. In related news, director Michael Moore announced Wednesday that he has been working on a secret project for months that involves Donald Trump and Roseanne Barr. Oh, here we go. Let's get our seatbelts, folks. His announcement comes days after ABC canceled the reboot of Roseanne, following Barr's racist tweet likening former President Barack Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett to a cross between the Muslim Brotherhood and a Planet of Apes character. Yeah. So we'll see how that story keeps unfolding. It's there's nothing for me to say. That's where we are with that. Well, there's more news. There's kind of an update to that story, kind of, sort of. So you'll be hearing from that too. More entertainment news after this break.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back, party people. You're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. This is your Captain Keith, and we were talking about Roseanne Barr and her canceled TV show, and we will have more news about that within this podcast. And in more entertainment news, Kanye West tweets, "Wish for end of Drake and Pusha T beef. Lines were crossed." Yeah, he says this now. Okay. Yeah, so let's dig into that story. All right. After observing his guy Pusha T and Drake go at each other with a week of extremely personal revelations, Kanye West is calling for an end to the beefing. "I've never been about beef. I'm about love. Lines were crossed, and it's not good for anyone. So this is dead now," Ye said via Twitter about the nasty dispute between the two rappers. Kanye, of course, is talking about the diss track the diss tracks that have been traded between Drake and Pusha T. They started out with light barbs and simple disses, but things escalated when the revelation that Drake fathered an illegitimate child with an ex-porn star. Drake appears to have been caught by surprise, especially after Pusha T also dropped a never-before-seen shot of Drake in blackface. The Hotline Bling rapper had an explanation for the controversial image, but the damage had already been done. It's interesting that Kanye chose to make his peace announcement after the release of his album, Ye. Yeezy definitely rode the wave of media attention and excitement over his artist feud with Drake into the publicity for his listening party at a secluded Wyoming hideout. We can only wonder if Drake is ready to drop the beef and accept Kanye's plea for peace. After all, he took the last shot, and it ain't looking too good. You think Drake, of all people, is ready to go out like that? No, I don't. And there's a follow-up to that story. Jay Prince confirms Drake has career-ending Pusha T diss, but it will never be released. So, and Jay Prince has stepped in to make sure that Drake does not ruin a man's life. The last we heard from Jay Prince, the Rap-A-Lot Records CEO, said he had made an OG call to Drake, insisting that he not respond to Pusha T's ferocious diss track against him, The Story of Adidon. The possibility of a Drake response seemed to become more unlikely after hearing the new information, and now even further details have broken out about their conversation. So yeah, Jay Prince is the CEO and founder of Rap-A-Lot Records. They were the record label that put on the Ghetto Boys, and I believe Devin the Dude. So there you go. Appearing on Sway in the Morning, Jay Prince gave context to why he was so against Drizzy clapping back at Push, noting that his response would have ended careers and ruined families. Okay, well, if you are in a rap battle, those type of things might usually kind of happen. Just saying. Jay Prince and Drake have a long history dating back to when his son Jazz Prince discovered the Canadian on MySpace, giving him an opportunity. Sway prompted the legend to speak on what made him so against the continuation of their beef, to which Jay Prince replied, "I saw this going to a place that I feel would have ended his career if Drake would have put out this song that he had on him." Noting that lines were crossed, Prince continued by confirming that a response exists, saying, "Oh, no doubt about it. The ingredients were overwhelming. I know for a fact that it would have been bad for Kanye and my man. It wouldn't have been good. It's beyond music at that point. It's going to affect the livelihood. It's going to interfere with his entire lifestyle from that day forward." Drake seems to have given his word to Jay Prince that he would not retaliate as he prepares to let the situation blow over. The Rap-A-Lot CEO said he does not believe the song will ever see the light of day. Okay, but what's the point of reporting that? And careers could be ruined because you don't respond. When it comes to rap battle, if you choose not to respond in a rap battle when it comes to hip hop, then you have lost. And then most of the time you lose fans. Most of the time you don't recover from that. So yes, lines were crossed already. So it's at the point of no return. And then when you report this story, at this point, now people want to hear the track because you stated that the track exists. So we will let you know what happens with that story. Daz Dillinger keeps Kanye West beef alive with True to the Game, his new single and video. And I did see the video. It is hilarious. I can tell you that. It's very entertaining. Daz Dillinger, who is from the DPG, Dog Pound Gang, formerly of Death Row Records, also Snoop Dogg's cousin. He's also a producer in his own right, too. So, producer and MC. His partner from Dog Pound was Corrupt, of course. Daz Dillinger continues his anti-Kanye West campaign. When it comes to the wrath of Daz Dillinger, anybody can get it. The DPG legend recently found himself embroiled in a feud with Kanye West over Ye's lyrical allusion to the Crips and Bloods. As a result of the perceived disrespect, Daz essentially banned Kanye from Los Angeles, prompting police intervention and an eventual truce. Evidently said, truce is an uneasy one, as Daz has quietly continued to bring life to his anti-Kanye West campaign. Perhaps Yeezy's recent album drop reawakened the fire in Dillinger's heart. Today, the Dog Pound rapper has come forth with some black and white visuals for his Kanye West diss True to the Game, which calls Yeezy out by name. Throughout the clip, Daz has a Kanye analog standing with a MAGA Make America Great hat in tow. It's certainly strange timing for the clip to surface, but it's clear that while God forgives, Daz almost certainly does not. And it's also been reported that Kanye West filed a restraining order against Daz Dillinger. Yeah, so it's new for a rapper to file a restraining order against another rapper. That's new territory. It is. Excuse me. I'm sorry. TNT's Claws presents hashtag Claws Up Tour to promote their upcoming third season. This show is fun. It's a show about these ladies who run and own a nail salon and their misadventures, just trying to stay safe and stay out of trouble. It's really cool. Stars Niecy Nash, formerly of Reno 911. And she's great in this show. And it's executive produced by Rashida Jones. So, and it has, what's her name? And I know it. Oh man, it's going to bother me. It'll hit me. She used to date Chris Brown. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me. Karush. That's her name. Yes. Okay. Yep. Karush. That is her name. Okay. She's on the show. She's pretty great on the show as well. Okay. So to generate buzz for its new season of Claws, TNT is presenting the hashtag Claws Up Tour, which will give out fancy manicures inspired by the Niecy Nash-led series to lady bosses in New York, Los Angeles, and at the Essence Festival in New Orleans. In addition to nail designs curated by influencer nail stylist Lady Fancy Nails with nail polish sponsored by Floss Gloss, the tour will also include Lady Boss panels featuring women who have made major moves while building their companies. That's pretty cool. There will also be giveaways and appearances by inspiring women and special guests. The tour stops will include tomorrow, June 7th, at the Herald Square in New York City from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday, July 6th to July 8th at the Essence Festival in New Orleans from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, July 14th to the 15th at BeautyCon Festival in Los Angeles from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Season 3 of Claws premieres this Sunday, June 10th at 9/8 Central on TNT. 9 p.m/8 Central on TNT. Tongue twisting my own stuff. Sorry. The show follows the rise of 5 treacherous manicurists working at the Nail Artisans of Manatee County Salon, where there's a lot more going on than silk wraps and pedicures. At the center of this diverse group is salon owner Desna Niecy Nash, who works alongside her salon staff to launder money from Suncoast Rejuvenation, a barely legal pain clinic operated by the Dixie Mafia. While it has always been Desna's mission to break free of the redneck syndicate and become her own boss, last season saw Desna trade one crime boss for another as the Russian mob took control of both the pain clinic and the salon. With new management comes new problems for the women to navigate. The series also stars Carrie Preston from True Blood, Judy Reyes from Scrubs, Karoosh Tran from The Nice Guys, Jen Lyon from Justified, Jack Kesey, or it's Kesy from The Strain, Kevin Rankin from Dallas Buyers Club and Friday Night Lights, Jason Antoon from Famous in Love, Jimmy Jean-Louis from Heroes, Suleika Matthew from Men and Trees, Harold Perrineau from Lost in Oz, and Dean Norris from Breaking Bad, who I think has Uncle Daddy. I think who that is. Yes, folks, there is a character on a television show, and his name is Uncle Daddy. I kid you not, and it's great to watch. It is. Jared Leto, his Joker, is getting his own movie exclusive. All right, and he was great in the Suicide Squad film. He did a great job. It's not easy to follow up to Heath Ledger as Joker. Jared made his own version of the Joker, and it was good, and it was witty, and it was dark, and I enjoyed it. A very talented actor. Warner Brothers is looking to expand Jared Leto's version of the Joker, which debuted in 2016's Suicide Squad, with a movie of his own. Sources tell Variety that Leto is set to star and exec produce an untitled standalone film, paving the way for future movies branching from Suicide Squad. The plot details are currently unknown, but the studio's idea is to expand on the world created by Suicide Squad and tie into future installments of that property. Warner Brothers already announced that Margot Robbie's version of Harley Quinn would be getting her own movie with a Birds of Prey feature, and the next goal was setting up a film for Leto's Joker. When Warner Brothers announced last fall that it was developing a Joker origin tale from Todd Phillips, the studio emphasized that this did not mean the end for Leto's Joker. Rather, Phillips' film would fall under a new Origins banner that would be separate from the current cinematic DC universe. This new banner would allow multiple actors and versions based on the same character with no overlap. And Warner Brothers has already tapped Joaquin Phoenix to star in Phillips' Joker pick. Leto's Joker, as fans noted, was almost a glorified cameo in Suicide Squad. The Oscar winner had made it clear following the film's release that he hoped to expand on the character in future films in a more substantive, if not starring role. It's currently unknown when this film would go into production, as Leto and the studio will now search for a writer. It is also unclear if this film would shoot before or after the previously announced sequel to Suicide Squad, which is believed to go into production sometime in 2019. Leto was most recently seen in Blade Runner 2049 and Netflix's The Outsider. He is repped by CAA and Untitled Entertainment. He's also the lead singer for 30 Seconds to Mars. So, very talented fellow. Very talented. So now, in regards to Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad, yes, there were people who complained or were disappointed that he didn't get a bigger role in Suicide Squad. But I say this to you, after seeing the movie and enjoying the movie myself, that putting too much of him in that film would have taken away from the Suicide Squad, because the Joker was not a part of the Suicide Squad. So it was a treat to have him in the film at all, because technically speaking, he didn't necessarily need to be in the movie at all. I mean, he's got the title Harley Quinn, but like I said, if you put too much of him in that film, then it becomes a Joker film and not a Suicide Squad film. So they played it just perfectly. And more entertainment news after this break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
And welcome back to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. It's your Captain Keith. And in more entertainment news, Kate Spade, American designer, whose bags carried women into adulthood, she died at 55. May she rest in peace. The designer Kate Spade, who created an accessories empire and whose handbags became a status symbol and a token of sophisticated adulthood for American women, was found dead on Tuesday. Ms. Spade built a brand on the appeal of clothes and accessories that made women smile. Her cheerful lack of restraint and bright prints striking a chord with consumers. She was the embodiment of her own aesthetic, with her proto-1960s bouffant nerd glasses and kooky grin, which masked a business mind that saw the opportunities in becoming a lifestyle brand almost before the term officially existed. The police said Tuesday that Miss Spade, 55, was discovered unresponsive at a Park Avenue apartment where she had hanged herself in her bedroom. She was pronounced dead at the scene at 10:26 a.m. She left a note, but the official did not comment on what it said. A housekeeper found Miss Spade. The police said she was unconscious, and the housekeeper called 911. Miss Spade's husband was at the scene. "We are all devastated by today's tragedy," the Spade family said in a statement. "We loved Kate dearly and will miss her terribly. We would ask that our privacy be respected as we grieve during this very difficult time." So, this is a nice picture of her here, where she's smiling and she's like leaning over this red big chair, looks like, or a pillow, I'm not sure. And a very nice smile. Born Catherine Brosnahan in Kansas City, Missouri, in December 1962, Miss Spade was one of the first of a powerful wave of female American contemporary designers in the 1990s. Miss Spade, who had been the accessories editor of Mademoiselle magazine, founded Kate Spade with her husband-to-be, Andy, and a friend, Elise Aarons, in 1993. Frustrated with the handbags of the era, which she found to be over-accessorized, she had wanted a functional bag that was sophisticated and had some style, she told the New York Times in 1999. She did not know what to call the company at first and decided to make it a combination of the names of the co-founders, After the first show, she realized that the bags needed a little something extra to catch people's eyes. She took the label, which originally had been on the inside of the bag, and sewed it to the outside. With that gesture, she created a brand identity and her empire. Wow. Just a small move like that. That's like normal now to see. Very cool. Within a few years, she had opened up a Soho shop and was collecting industry awards. Her name, or shorthand for the cute, clever bags that were an instant hit with career women and later young girls, status symbols of a more attainable all-American sort than a Fendi, Clutch, or Chanel bag, Miss Spade became the very visible face of her brand and paved the way for female lifestyle designers like Tory Burch and Jenna Lyons of J. Crew. Joe Z, the former creative director of L and former fashion director of W, met Miss Spade before she started her company within weeks of his own start in the fashion industry. She told me she was thinking of starting a handbag line and that carefree, excited way she had, he said. I remember her describing some aspects of it to me and what she wanted to do. And that same spirited manner she had when she talked. It was always colorful, said with an excitement and a smile. By then, the Spades had been gone a decade. Having left in 2007 to devote themselves to other projects, Miss Spade dedicated herself to her family and the philanthropy, and in 2016, together with her husband, Miss Aarons, and Paola Venturi, a Kate Spade alum, launched a new venture, an accessories label called Frances Valentine. Miss Spade was so committed to the project that she told interviewers she had changed her surname from Spade to Valentine. Oh, yeah, okay, that's different. All right. A spokeswoman for Kate Spade New York said in a statement that while Kate has not been affiliated with the brand for more than a decade, she and her husband and creative partner, Andy, were the founders of our beloved brand. Kate will be dearly missed. Our thoughts are with Andy and the entire Spade family at this time. Mr. Z said he always admired Miss Spade for being ahead of her time. She knew what the fashion world needed before we did, he said. Kate just did what she felt was right, regardless of what the industry would think. And because of this article, I do want to say that if, there's a caption here that says that if you're having thoughts of suicide, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or talk, or go to speakingofsuicide.com/resources for a list of additional resources. So may Miss Spade rest in peace. And in more news, Mina Savari breaks silence on Kevin Spacey allegations. Shocking and really heart-wrenching is the quote. Mina Savari has broken her silence about the sexual assault accusations against her former American Beauty co-star Kevin Spacey. The 39-year-old actress, who is starring in Kyle Richards' upcoming Paramount Network show American Woman, opened up about the new disgraced actor during a visit to Megyn Kelly today on Tuesday. I think with everything that I've been seeing that everyone's been going through, it's shocking, Savari said of the allegations. It's really heart-wrenching. There's a nice picture of Kevin Spacey and her here. It's important to focus on the conversation that's happening and the healing. The victims, the right thing that's to come out of this, she added. That's sort of what I try to hope for and focus on the most. It's something that we're truly changing and moving out of. Mr. Spacey won an Oscar for 1999's American Beauty, playing a 42-year-old advertising executive who has a midlife crisis when he becomes sexually infatuated with Savari's character, his teenage daughter's best friend. The film by director Sam Mendes picked up 4 other Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Despite the controversy, Savari still looks back on the film fondly. For me, having the opportunity to work on American Beauty was something that was so special and so beautiful, Savari said. I was so young and was so grateful to have a job and to be working with such experienced individuals. Everyone on that set was wonderful to me. I had a beautiful experience working on that film. Allegations against Spacey were first brought forward in October by actor Anthony Rapp, who alleged the actor had previously made inappropriate sexual advances toward him when he was just 14 years old. In response, Spacey issued a statement on Twitter addressing the allegations and came out as gay. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear the story, he said. I honestly do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago, but if I did behave as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I am sorry for the feelings he describes have carried with him all these years. This story has encouraged me to address other things about my life, Spacey continued. I know that there are stories out there about me, and that some have been fueled by the fact that I have been so protective of my privacy. As those closest to me know, in my life, I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic relationships with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. Several more people accused the actor of sexual harassment or assault since, and in April, one sexual assault case against the star reported to have taken place in October of 1992 in West Hollywood involving a male adult was turned over to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for further review. Scotland Yard also currently has several open investigations into alleged assault by Spacey in London. Mr. Spacey has since been fired from the final season of Emmy award-winning Netflix drama House of Cards. In November, he entered a treatment facility. He has not been out in public since. American Woman premieres June 7th, that's tomorrow, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Paramount Network. And in more entertainment news, Samuel L. Jackson really wishes he'd been in Black Panther. Samuel L. Jackson wants to go to Wakanda as much as the rest of us. On Wednesday's episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, the Avengers Infinity War actor stopped by for his 10th appearance on the talk show, which in addition to his 70th birthday, wow, he's 70. He doesn't look it. That's crazy. And once again, passing Harrison Ford for the honor of highest grossing actor of all time led to Jackson being draped in sashes by DeGeneres. Once the celebration ended, he was prompted to discuss the blockbuster smash, Black Panther, and more importantly, his lack of presence in the superhero movie. It's a great movie, said DeGeneres, but I couldn't believe that you weren't in it. I couldn't either, responded the star. When they were making it, I kept saying, so when do I go to Wakanda? And they were shakes his head. He went on to point out that his Marvel character Nick Fury should totally have a presence in the flick, even asking the producers, can I just walk down the street of Wakanda so they know that I know it's there? Because I know it's there. I mean, Nick Fury knows everything every black thing that's on the planet, so he's got to know about Wakanda. Still, there are no hard feelings from Jackson. I wish I had been there, but I'm really, really, really pleased with the success of that film and how it worked out. And eventually I may end up in Wakanda, he said. Fingers crossed for the sequel. Very cool. And we hope we get the chance to see you in the Wakanda, Mr. Jackson. The Queen invites Meghan Markle to do something no other young royal has ever done. And there's a very nice picture of Meghan Markle just cheesing, smiling, looking upward. She is now the Duchess of Sussex. Yes, she is. The Duchess of Sussex is set to experience another royal first. When she visits Cheshire next week, Meghan will join the Queen for a day of engagements on Thursday, with the pair traveling up north using the monarch's personal train that is only reserved for senior royals. Prince Philip, Prince Charles, the Duchess of Cornwall, and their staff are the only people who are entitled to use the royal train. Prince William is only believed to have used it once in 2003 on his birthday tour, when he traveled to Wales, while Prince Harry and the Duchess of Cambridge are not thought to have ridden in it before in an official capacity. Let me get that out. Okay, there we go. Described as Buckingham Palace on wheels, the lavish train is only used a handful of times a year. In 2017, it was used just 14 times at a cost of £900,000 to taxpayers. While it is very costly, it does provide a more comfortable ride for the 92-year-old monarch, especially when she travels overnight. The train, which was first used by Queen Victoria in 1842, has a luxurious smoking room, bedrooms with an en-suite bathrooms, and a 12-seater dining room. The Queen is 92 years old. I believe her and Prince Philip are like the oldest living monarchs ever. Seriously. 92. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Next Thursday, Meghan and the Queen will spend the day in Cheshire. They will open the Mersey Gateway Bridge before opening the Story House Theatre. A fitting engagement for former actress Meghan, who was best known for her role in Suits, of course. The pair will then attend a lunch at Chester Town Hall. The Duchess' day out with the Queen marks a milestone in her royal life. It is the first time she will carry out official duties without her husband, Prince Harry, and will also be her first engagement with just the monarch. Meghan has previously accompanied the Queen on other engagements, such as the Commonwealth Day service in March, but she was joined by other members of the royal family. Royal watchers will see Meghan before next week's engagement. The newlywed, who is still on her honeymoon with Harry, will attend Trooping the Colour on Saturday to celebrate the Queen's official birthday at Buckingham Palace. That's very nice. She gets some quality time with her grandmother-in-law, who happens to be the Queen of, Great Britain. That's all. Just a little old title, Well, have fun, both of you. And more entertainment news after this break.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is a podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
And we're back. Once again, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. This is your Captain Keith. And some more entertainment news for you. Priyanka Chopra fuels Nick Jonas dating rumors with flirty Instagram comments. And she's from the hit series on ABC, Quantico. She's the star of it, actually. So Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's Instagram flirting continues, and so do those romance rumors. The 25-year-old pop star and actor and the 35-year-old Quantico actress reignited them 2 weeks ago when they were spotted together in Los Angeles a few times last week. The two were seen having dinner together, and the two stars also appeared to flirt with each other on Instagram. They have not commented on the status of their relationship. The flirting appeared to continue on Wednesday after Nick posted a video from a trip to Australia, which shows him standing near a koala bear at Taronga Zoo, Sydney. Chopra liked the post and commented, "Who was cuter? LOL." Last week, Chopra left a comment on a photo Jonas posted of himself with DJ Mustard, posting a double pink heart emoji and a fire emoji. While Jonas also fueled the romance speculation by complimenting Chopra's smile in the photo she posted of herself eating at In-N-Out with friends. Jonas and Chopra have known each other for a while and first sparked romance rumors last year when they attended the 2017 Met Gala together. They have arrived at the event together after they found out they both planned on wearing Ralph Lauren outfits and were also assigned to sit at the same table. At the time, the Indo-Asian news service quoted Jonas as saying that they met through a mutual friend who she did Quantico with. This guy, Graham, lightly referring to her co-star Graham Rogers, who appeared with Jonas in the 2015 film Careful What You Wish For. After the Met Gala, on Watch What Happens Live, host Andy Cohen asked Chopra about the possibility of her dating Jonas in the future, and she appeared to dodge the question. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, host Jimmy Kimmel teased her about her younger Met Gala date. "Are you dating Nick Jonas? Isn't he like 11 years old?" He asked. "We were both wearing Ralph Lauren and we decided to go together," Priyanka said. I didn't ask his age. 11? "Yeah, he's 11 years old," Kimmel joked. "You didn't know that?" "I did not know that," Chopra said. "Yeah, last year he was 10 and now he's 11, Kimmel joked. "Good to know," replied Chopra. "I think he's going to be 12 soon," Kimmel joked. Well, That's an interesting story. It really is. So I'm eager to see what will unfold in that regard. So, Stranger Things star David Harbour reveals he was once committed to a mental asylum. Wow. So let's dig into this story. Stranger Things star David Harbour has revealed that he spent time in a mental asylum years ago and was treated for bipolar disorder. In an interview with comedian Mark Maron on his WTF podcast released this week, or WTP, I can't quite see that. The popular 43-year-old actor who plays Police Chief Jim Hopper on the Netflix series talked about how he had for years battled issues such as anxiety, self-hatred, and alcohol abuse, and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He said that in his mid-20s, he got sober and spiritual, became interested in Catholicism and mystic saints, and had a manic episode. I really had like a bit of a break where I thought I was in connection to some sort of God that I wasn't really in connection to, he said, and writing a lot. He said he did not take drugs at the time, adding, I realized that I don't really need them, that I have a capacity to see the elves in the corners of my room if I really allow myself to go there. Harbour said his parents took him to an asylum for treatment, and I have to say one thing about the mental asylum, really, really not as fun as you think it is, he joked. You do have a romantic idea, and it just ends up being sad and smells like, we'll use the term crap. And the other thing was boating. I recently went out on a ship in open water, and I'd read Moby Dick 1,000,000 times, and it's really not sexy. It's horrible. It's very similar to the mental asylum experience. But we definitely, and then there's a quote. Have you ever been to a mental asylum? He added, the only thing that defines a crazy person and a normal person is they're convinced they're sane. Crazy people are convinced they're sane, like I'm the only one that gets it. It's incredible. He said he was diagnosed as bipolar. That's actually when the drugs came in. He said, I've had a struggle going on and off the medications. Definitely commend you for speaking about this, though, because, not everyone speaks about mental health and is open to admitting that they have an issue with it. So that's very healthy and very cool. So, and I look forward to season 2 of Stranger Things. It's a great show on Netflix. And Mr. Harbour is a great actor. He does a great job on that show. So if you haven't seen it, definitely encourage you all to watch it. Mira Sorvino cries for Harvey Weinstein's alleged victims on the Today Show. So in her first TV interview since Harvey Weinstein was indicted by a grand jury, actress Mira Sorvino, one of the 97 women who have accused the producer of varying degrees of sexual assault and harassment, told Savannah Guthrie she won't be satisfied until he's behind bars. Weinstein pled not guilty to charges of rape in the first and third degrees and criminal sexual act in the first degree. Previously, he categorically denied all allegations of non-consensual sex. Sorvino, who shared her story with Ronan Farrow in The New Yorker last year, said she hopes Weinstein will be convicted for his alleged crimes. It feels like a really good first step, It's him finally facing real criminal consequences for his criminal behavior. And so for that, I feel gratified. But honestly, last weekend was a very emotional one. I cried many times because just seeing him brings up a lot of bad feelings. He's raped many people that I love, so it's not really a happy occasion. I think maybe there will be some celebration when he gets convicted and goes to jail. That's when the process will be complete and we will see justice really being served, the Condor actress said on the Today Show. But until then, this is a great first step. While the general public was unaware of Sorvino's alleged encounter with Weinstein, the actress had been telling her peers about it for decades. The funny thing is, at the time it happened, I told everyone I knew, and a lot of people will tell you that all these people wrote to me online. I remember you telling me that Quentin Tarantino corroborated that I had told him about it right away that September. He said it in the New York Times article, so I told everyone I knew. No one said, hey, this is sexual harassment. You should go to the authorities. You have a case. You should go to the police. Maybe it's assault. No one said anything like that, she said. Everyone was just kind of comforting about it. I didn't really understand the law, and I didn't think I was important enough to make a big deal over, so I just kind of tried to put it to the side. keep working and go on about my life. I think a lot of people felt that way. At the time, she explained, none of us compared notes. I only knew of one other person. I could not believe how many people, if we had known about each other then, we would have been, she said, stopped mid-sentence when images of alleged victims who came forward appeared on the screen behind her. Oh boy, that's crazy, she said through tears. I'm sorry. Clearing her throat, Servino continued, I think we would have found strength in numbers and we would have done something a lot sooner. But I only knew of one other person, Sophie Dix, who told me her story a little while after mine occurred. But I did try to do something about it at the time. I even spoke to somebody at Miramax about it and nothing happened. So it kind of went away and I tried to go on with my life. Guthrie then brought up Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson, who last year accused Miramax of forcing him to blacklist Servino and other actresses in Hollywood when Jackson made the statement. Weinstein denied the accusations. Wow. I didn't even know what I suspected. I just knew that my career had kind of slumped, Servino said. I thought, well, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I've had too many children. I've been pregnant too many times. You know, sometimes you have bad luck. I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't meant to be that my career was going to continue at the same level that it had been. Wow. I can't believe that she had to even think those things. But that morning, to wake up and see Peter Jackson's tweet that he had blacklisted myself and Ashley Judd based on Harvey's telling him not to work with us. And then Terry Zwigoff came out the next day and said the same thing about Bad Santa. It was like a thunderbolt. It was kind of crazy. Servino continued, I was like, oh, so it was really this malevolent hand that changed the course of my life and my professional horizons. Look, I still have worked all these years and have done great projects. So some of them have been lower profile, but I'm proud of all of them. I have the most amazing family in the world. I have 4 of the most beautiful, wonderful children and the most incredible husband. So everything is going great for us now. Speaking of Christopher Backus, whom she wed in 2004, she said, we probably wouldn't have met if I had done Lord of the Rings, and I wouldn't have had my 4 beautiful children. At the end of the day, I'm fine with everything, but to know that this was done to me rather than it just being fate was kind of a world rocking at the time. But right now, I'm really excited to be a part of this movement of the #MeToo and Time's Up. I'm working on promoting legislation in California for bills that are among the strongest anti-sexual harassment legislation in the nation. Throughout history, she said, men have raped and abused and harassed people weaker than them, people in positions subordinate to them. And I'm not just talking women. I'm talking men. I'm talking children. I'm talking trans people, non-binary people, LGBTQ people, forever. Rape has been with us forever. Society is at the cusp of this movement where people are working with men to change the idea of what being a strong man is and how not to do this to people, Servino said. For women and boys and girls to know their rights, all this will have been worth it in some crazy way. If culture is going to change and less people will be sexually assaulted because of this movement and this outcry among millions across the world, then it was all worth it. Very eloquently put, Ms. Servino. Mr. Weinstein's attorney has reacted to her interview with Today. Quote, Mr. Weinstein is stunned and outraged by Mira Sorvino's offensive claim that Harvey raped people she loved, when she does not even identify any of the women, Ben Brafman said in a statement to E! News. This is precisely the type of reckless character assassination that allows a public figure like Sorvino to make vicious allegations that are impossible to refute because she does not have the courage or integrity to name the women so that we can at least try to expose the falsity of these allegations that Mr. Weinstein denies. That is just a quote from Mr. Weinstein's lawyer. So that's just, his rebuttal. So, and in the other entertainment news ending, so Kanye, have to talk about him and Kendra Wilkinson, formerly of Girls Next Door, I believe. Name of the show she did with Hugh Hefner. So, of course, you already know. Kendra Wilkinson, well, let me read to you the statement. Kendra Wilkinson apologizes to Hank Baskett, her soon-to-be ex-husband. I was the reason your football career ended. So after live tweeting a recent argument with Hank Baskett, Kendra Wilkinson returned to Twitter to apologize to her ex. I want to apologize publicly to Hank, she wrote on Wednesday. I was the reason your football career ended. I regret doing that to you, and I hope you learn to forgive me one day. I loved you and was always your number one fan. The Kendra on Top celeb tweeted Baskett blamed her for ending his time in NFL on Tuesday. I was 24 when I got married. Wilkinson continued, now I'm 33. I made a lot of mistakes through those young years, and I'm sorry for making you feel the way I did. She then added, all I ever wanted was family because I never had a solid one. But me being immature was the reason I couldn't give you more. Her tweets have since been deleted. Wilkinson and Baskett tied the knot at the Playboy Mansion in June 2009. Later that year, Baskett was released by the Philadelphia Eagles and joined the Indianapolis Colts. He then returned to the Eagles in 2010, but was quickly cut. After signing with the Minnesota Vikings later that year, his football career ended in 2011. During this time, the two experienced a series of highs and lows. They shared the joy of welcoming their first child, Hank Baskett IV, in 2009. Then in 2010, they dealt with the release of a sex tape Wilkinson made when she was 18. They both also battled with depression. In her book, Being Kendra, Cribs, Cocktails, and Getting My Sexy Back, Wilkinson wrote she went through a dark depression shortly after the birth of son Baskett. Baskett also told people he struggled with depression after the end of his athletic career and turned to alcohol and recreational drugs. The stress and depression was eating away at me, he told the magazine in 2015, recalling a low point in 2013. I fell into what happens to a lot of professional athletes who change careers. It hit me, and it hit hard. In 2014, the couple welcomed their daughter, Elijah Mary Baskett. However, the former athlete was also the center of an alleged cheating scandal involving a transgender model. Although he told people he didn't engage in anything, fans watched Kendra flush her wedding ring down the toilet on Kendra on Top. However, the two continued to work on their relationship. Source told E! News that they went to counseling and they appeared on Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars. In April 2018, Wilkinson filed for divorce. After the split, a source told E! News Baskett has been taking big digs at Kendra to get under her skin. He knows what bothers her most, the insider said. He sees that she is trying to move on and wants to date again, and it's something that triggers him. It has been an ongoing battle between the two. While the sources said the exes were in a good place, the insider claimed they will resurface things and will start fights with each other. This has been happening a lot through the divorce process. The source added, there is a lot of animosity. Still, Wilkinson seems to be leaning on her friends and family for support. After tweeting her apology to Baskett, she wrote she was excited for her daughter's upcoming ballet dance. She is in a really emotional place right now, the source added. Her friends are trying to keep her busy and out of the house. She spends a lot of time with the kids. So there that is. And the last story for this podcast, in keeping up with Kanye fashion, Kanye West says he was diagnosed with a mental condition at the age of 39. Kanye West's new Ye album cover declares, I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. And now the 40-year-old rapper is opening up about his own struggle with mental health. In an interview with Big Boy TV, which was recorded during last week's Ye's listening party in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Kanye was quite candid with the host Big Boy about his past controversies, including his controversial remarks during an interview with TMZ Live. I'm so blessed and so privileged because think about people that have mental issues that are not Kanye West, that can't go on. They can't go and make it feel like it's all good. He said, think about somebody does exactly what I did at TMZ, and they do that at work. But then Tuesday morning they come in and they've lost their job, but they can't go on in there and make that. That's why God put that on me. The hip hop artist confessed, I'd never been diagnosed until I was like 39 years old. When Big Boy asked, what do you mean by diagnosed? Kanye replied, diagnosed with a mental condition. Kim Kardashian West's husband didn't clarify if he was directly referring to bipolar disorder like his album cover implies. But he did continue to talk about mental health. I think everybody got something, he said. But like I said on the album, it's not a disability, it's a superpower. And to quote Jay-Z, okay. On Yeezy's new song, Yikes, he directly references bipolar disorder, rapping, "That's why I mess with Ye. That's my third person. That's my bipolar crap. Brother, what?" Yeah, that's me censoring. "That's my superpower, brother." Censoring. "Ain't no disability. I'm a superhero. I'm a superhero." Okay. Yeah. And then with that, I must bid you all adieu. Once again, you've been listening to Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. It's Captain Keith. Thank you all for listening, good people of Earth and the known universe. Appreciate you, and we'll see you somewhere out in space.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.